Hello, everyone. Welcome to the SGC Focus Report. This is your host, Tim Winders. This is a report where monthly we try to give you a quick synopsis on what we've done the last month, what we're about to be doing, kind of a preview of coming attractions, and maybe a few other highlights, and try to do it in a very quick, short, condensed format so that you could find out what's going on with SeekGoCreate without having listened to all the episodes, even though I would love for you to listen to all the episodes. Boy, we had some great ones last month. We've got some cool ones coming up. So let's kind of get right into it. Before I jump in, though, I do want to kind of give a where I am now. We have actually now moved cross country, and we just finished up a great Thanksgiving time. We had some family and all come together, and had some friends and some folks visited, and hope everybody stayed safe. I know we did, and we just had a great time. We were outdoors quite a bit, and we're spending some time not far from some of the national parks in southern Utah. And boy, it was phenomenal and great. And I hope that you had a great Thanksgiving holiday and that you are gearing up for a great Christmas holiday. So December is going to be an awesome month. But before I get into that, let me kind of recap some things that we saw and that we were thankful for in the month of November in the United States. For those that are outside the United States, Thanksgiving is a big holiday in the United States. It is typically the third or fourth Thursday, can't quite remember, of November. Also have my birthday in November, so I'm another year older, looking better, doing great. And so that was exciting. And anyway, we were just thankful. I can tell you that the thing I am most thankful for, though, are people like you that are listening in, that are just participating in all we're doing and being part of the community. So let me jump right in and give some learning points, some lessons that I got from some of our episodes that we had during the month of November. We kicked off the month with an old, experienced guy in the wealth creation business. It was Caleb Guilliams, and he's all of 24 years old. Yep, you heard me right, 24 years old. We talked about maximizing your wealth potential through intentional living. We had a deep conversation about the spiritual aspect of money, and he grew up as a follower of Christ. He's similar to myself, and we talk about how many people that call themselves Christians really struggle with money and why that is. And I just had a great conversation. I learned a ton from this gentleman, and I believe that you will too if you go back and listen to that full episode. And my big takeaway is that that money's just a tool. It is nothing that defines us one way or the other, and it's a tool, and we all need to look at it as a tool. So great episode with Caleb Guilliams. And then the next week, I interviewed Glen Dunzweiler, and Glen has spent a lot of time. He was a college professor. He's done a lot of things in business. He does video, and he's a storyteller, basically. But he spent a lot of time with the homeless community. And we talk about what it means to take personal responsibility of your own success. And we had a lot of conversation about the homeless. And, one of the things I learned from this episode is that I don't think we really understand what goes on with homelessness. We were homeless. My wife and I were for a period of time, but we didn't call it that. We actually had some family that would help us out from time to time. And we were living out of a van, so I guess we weren't totally homeless. I mean, I guess I'm still homeless. I live in an RV, right? But anyway, the conversation was great. And I think that we all, number one, need to understand what goes on with that whole community more. And I also believe that we can learn from just what people that have studied that have found. So go listen to that episode. I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the conversation. It was great. The next episode that we had during the month was with a group of it was a startup team for the Savvy dating app. And I talked to the three young men that were starting this, and two of them were actually in their dorm room apartments, one at Georgia Tech, one was in Villanova, and the other gentleman had just graduated from Villanova. So these were extremely young, college-age guys, and I was so impressed. It gave me so much hope to talk to them. They're doing some great things with this app, and we talk about a great deal of challenges and issues related to the startup process. And let me tell you what was so impressive to me. That was the humility that these young men have. They were so quick to admit that they believe that they're problem solvers and they could solve problems, but they also admitted that they don't know what they don't know. And I'll tell you, that is a formula for super success. You know, we talk about redefining success on this podcast and on our YouTube channel. And one of the ultimate definitions is admitting that you don't know what you don't know. And we talked about that on this episode. The final episode of the month that I'm going to mention in this overview was with Quan Hin. And just quick synopsis, this guy was in a gang, and in a situation that we go into, he actually pulled the trigger, killed, and took the life of someone else, and then spent 16 years in prison serving time for that crime. He basically took personal responsibility while he was in prison. We talk a great deal about that. We also relate time in prison to the life that a lot of people live in our current culture, where we think we're doing well, but we may actually be in prison still. So anyway, that was a great conversation we had. And I so enjoyed the conversation about forgiveness and asking him about if he felt as if he was now forgiven for that crime that he committed. And, you know, I would love to give you his answer, but you need to hear the silence when I asked the question, and then the tone in his voice when he responded, when I asked if he felt as if, as a follower of Christ, he was forgiven for committing murder. So, man, I enjoyed the episodes. I enjoy all of our episodes, but I enjoyed the episodes that we had in October so much. And so if you haven't listened to them, I recommend you go back and try to listen to some of those. If not all of them, go ahead and binge them either on YouTube or on your favorite podcast platform. Now, coming up, preview of coming attractions right here. We have a special month of December. I think it may have already started by the time this episode is released, this short episode, but we actually are interviewing everyone on the SeekGoCreate podcast team, our team, and they also happen to be family. I interview Hunter, our son-in-law, married my daughter, Dulcie, and we talk about a lot of things in ministry, what he's doing in business. And I also talked to my daughter, Dulcie, and all the things she's been through this year. Both her and Hunter gave us our first grandchild, which is exciting, and we talk about that. And then I interviewed JK, or Joshua, my son. He's also the producer engineer of the channel. And we have great conversations about the adventures he's been on this year. And drum roll, you're not going to want to miss this. I get my wife, Glory, to sit down for a conversation. And every time she is on the podcast or YouTube channel, people love it. You know, we have a saying around our household that when you get around Glory, you have been glorified, and you will be glorified when you listen to this episode. And so make sure you listen to those. And then finally, the last episode of the month and the year, I'm going to be doing a solo episode where I'm going to be doing some sharing and teaching about lessons learned from 2020 and some things that we all need to do to make sure 2020 is the best that we can absolutely make it. So make sure you tune in for all those. If you haven't already, subscribe. If you listen on YouTube, subscribe and turn on the notifications there so you're notified when new episodes release. And then on your favorite podcast channel, some of them you follow, some of them you subscribe. Make sure you do that so you don't miss anything. So anyway, we're excited about all that's coming in December. It is going to be a great holiday month. I hope you enjoy your holiday and just have a great month. I do want to mention a few other exciting things. Our downloads and listens keep going through the roof, and that is so exciting. So excited about that. Thank you. All of you must be sharing or listening or doing something. I don't know what you're doing, but keep doing it because it's working, and we just are so thankful for that. And a few other things. I have gotten my first shipment of merchandise, and let me see here if I could get this on the video, but this is my first merchandise, the SeekGoCreate T-shirt, and we've got hoodies, we've got mugs, we've got all kinds of stuff. So go to our website at SeekGoCreate.com and you can click on the store up, I think on this, it's on the top right, and you can go check things out. Hey, I'm going to give the pitch here just in time for that gift giving holiday season. You could give SeekGoCreate logoed items and also redefine success. We've got that on some of our long sleeve tees and some t-shirts and things. So anyway, I'm excited. You know, it's kind of cool to have merchandise and so anyway, that's an awesome thing that we've got. And we just have so many other things that are going on. Let me see. Oh, one other thing. It kind of blows me away. The United States and India are continuing to battle it out for our top listener countries. And I don't know what to think about that. I can't even wrap my head around it that we've got so many people listening over in India. I have been there before. I traveled there in the 90s. I went to Mumbai and Bangalore and Calcutta and in Delhi and a few other places there, doing some business there. And I've had clients there in the past in Mumbai, some friends there. And Nadish and Snigna, just a shout out if you guys are listening in. And I'm just so thankful for all of you listening in and sharing. Obviously, it's going nuts there. I think our download numbers increased 66% during the month of November. So anyway, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And it just goes to show that when you start doing something, you never know what's going to happen with it. So thank you all. I appreciate it. And I do want to read this, man. I wanted to give a shout out to James, a buddy of mine. I know he kind of gave us this is kind of like a listener focus. He gave us a great review on Apple. And for those of you that have not given reviews or wherever you listen, please go do that. It helps so much the discovery process. And James said, "What a treasure. I've been listening to SeekGoCreate for several weeks now, and I'm always inspired with fresh ideas on business, leadership, and how to apply them in daily life, whether at home, at work, or at church." James, thank you so much. That is exactly what we're wanting to do, is just encourage people, give them some wisdom and some teaching and training and encouragement so that they can just go ahead and live their lives. I think you know that our motto is redefine success in leadership, business, and ministry. And we are so hopeful that we are doing that. So anyway, thank you all so much. Please continue listening in, doing what you're doing. And as I asked before, give some feedback on these short, condensed focus report episodes. You could either send us an email or go to any of our channels that we're on: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. We have just set up on Parler. We heard a bunch of people were migrating over there. I don't know what's going on. There's some weird stuff happening, but we've got a presence there. If you're there and you want to comment and connect with us there, you're welcome to do it. And of course, the main areas, your podcast and YouTube channels. Put comments. Let us know how you're doing. Let us know how you're redefining success, what you're doing for the holidays. And we just look forward to hearing from you. Thanks for being a part of the community. Thanks for participating in all that we're doing. And until next time, be all that you were created to be. Have a great holiday season.